Hello you guys and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. So in today's video, we are going to be doing an MLM and scams horror stories. So you guys know for the month of December, I decided to bring back my every single Friday MLM horror stories, but last week got super crazy for me. So I was not able to get up my MLM horror stories for Friday. Like I did not end up uploading. So I thought, why not do two this week? So instead of last Friday's being able to get that up, I was like, you know what? This week I'm going to skip the Tuesday upload because I did decide to take Christmas weekend off of uploading, filming, kind of doing anything but spending time with the hubs. So I took the weekend off and then I was like, I'll film on Wednesday and then I can get up an MLM horror stories and scam stories on Thursday and Friday. So this week you're going to get two of those and that will end out our 2022 uploading schedule. And with that, I'm very excited. I have so many videos for 2023, a lot of going into different scams, into influencer scams, things like that. So I'm very excited about that. And then on top of that, I'm just excited to go into a new year. I know the past 5 months, I haven't been the most consistent as I normally am. My uploads haven't been as normal as I like them to be. So I'm just excited for that fresh start of the new year and just really being able to sit down and visualize my schedule. So I'm very excited for that. So with that being said, let's get into today's MLM and scam stories. So if you want to send me your MLM horror story, or if you have a scam story that you want to send me, I will leave my email down below where you can send it. So the ones that I'm going to be reading today, I announced this in the last MLM and scam stories where I had a lot of MLM horror stories and scam stories sent to me throughout the past, I would say 2 years that I accidentally skipped over. So it would be ones that I just wouldn't know I didn't read. So I went back through my email a couple weeks ago and I found all of the MLM horror stories and scam stories that I actually forgot to read or accidentally skipped over. I compiled all of that into a folder and then I am going through all of those before I go back through my new email for MLM horror stories. And before I go into those and reading those, I wanted to read the ones that I had missed from the past. So if you're some ones that I missed, I am so sorry. I did not mean to miss it. Most of these stories I just accidentally skipped. I really didn't have a good method of my MLM horror stories, like how to get people to send it to me a couple years ago, especially 2020 and 2021. And then this year I found a much better way. So when back then I would just miss a lot of them because I didn't really have a good way for y'all to send them to me. So yeah, I feel like that's about it. With that being said, is it just me or is allergy season in full effect? I feel like this is the first year that my allergies have been terrible here in Texas. Everyone's talking about the cedar trees or something like that a lot of people struggle with allergies. So I know I've been with clearing my throat, having to cough, all of that. So let's see how many stories I could read before my allergies kick in. And then again, we'll have another MLM horror stories for y'all tomorrow. And when I say we, I mean me. And I feel like this intro is the longest intro of all time. I'm so sorry. Timestamps will be down below. The last thing though is if you guys have any 2023 video requests, if you have a certain scam or a certain influencer scam you want me to look on, say there was a scam that happened this past year or just happened that an influencer scammed their followers or whatever it may be that you want me to review or do a deep dive on or post about, or if there's any specific MLM announcement that happened that you want me to review or a specific MLM that you just want me to make a video on, definitely leave that in the comments below because then I will be able to go through all those comments. And when I'm planning 2023 out this weekend, I will be able to really add those in for the month of January and February. So let me know. And then I'll also post on the community tab for y'all to let me know over there too. So the first MLM horror story says it is going to be a Beachbody MLM horror story. So it starts off saying, "Hi, I love your videos and have really been enjoying learning more about the anti-MLM community. I was a Beachbody coach for a few months back in 2019. I was wanting to be in shape for my wedding that was in June and decided I'd jump all in with this business opportunity that I'd seen so many people talk about. I messaged my coach one day and got started. Honestly, I liked the programs because I truly enjoy working out at home, but I was told repeatedly that I needed to become Emerald in 24 hours. My coach did it, so I needed to do it as well. I kept on being sent trainings that my grandma coach recorded once a week and was told to jump on Emerald calls all the time. It was always the same info, but I didn't want to achieve that rank anyway. So when someone says grandma coach, that's literally what they call it. They call someone when it's you and then you have an upline. That upline's upline is like your grandma coach. And then that upline's like your great grandma coach. It's very weird to look back on and see that that's what they would call people in Beachbody. But then she said, honestly, I joined during one of the toughest parts of mine and now husband's lives. He was a full-time in grad school getting his master's, and I'm an elementary music teacher. We didn't have much money, and signing up for Beachbody was already a lot of money that we didn't have. I paid $160 for my challenge pack and to start my business. When I was constantly being told to sign up my husband, I kept saying we didn't have the money for that yet. I said yet because if I started making money on the business, we would have just signed him up. But I kept getting messages saying, quote, if you're serious about the business, you'll find more money. WTF. Me and my husband were living off of one teacher's salary. How dare people come at me saying I must not be serious then? Well, I asked my coach who she signed up for her one CBC and how she got her second coach to become Emerald. She signed up her brother as her CBC, which is I'm pretty sure isn't allowed, but that's fine. And then her best friend. Well, her best friend quit after like 2 months of her starting, but she told me I was too afraid of my coach seeing that I dropped ranks, so I signed up my mom to be a coach too. Okay, so you're paying to keep you active, your brother active, and your mom active. She told me I pay for Shakeology on my account to keep my PV up, pre and post workout on my brother's account, and a bunch of beach bars through my mom's account. That is so much money that she pays every month just so her coach wouldn't see that she dropped rank and be upset at her. When I found all that out, I turned in my coach resignation. I couldn't be a part of something where all you do is pay money in hopes one day others sign up and make your money back. Thanks for constantly sharing horror stories and making videos in hopes that other people don't get scammed into these companies. So I kind of want to go on the Beachbody website and actually figure out the math for how much that must have costed her every single month. So let's do that. So if you guys do not know, if you were to sign up with Beachbody or pretty much any MLM, you're going to have monthly PV requirements that you must uphold. Depending on your rank, your PV requirement goes up. So if you are, for example, let's say the rank of Emerald, your PV requirement is going to be the 50 to 90 PV. Now, if you go up and you're a diamond coach, then your PV requirement is 100 PV. And then when you become a star diamond or above, then your requirement is 200 PV. So you can also have PV taken over by your customers' sales. So if you are selling to customers, that can also count as your PV requirement. So if you can sell $100 of products to a customer, that can also count as your PV requirement for the month. The issue is that most of these people aren't getting individuals to buy constantly from them every month and having a constant stream of customers coming in to where that can happen. But on top of that, with Beachbody, the other issue is they have a thing called Success Club. And what Success Club is a requirement that you have to uphold every month that they talk so much about. You can ask any Beachbody coach or any person that has ever been in Beachbody how much they talked about the fact that you needed to hit Success Club. So in order to hit Success Club, you always have to have 90 PV on Home Direct. So when it comes down to it, the PV requirements for the ranks don't even matter, because no matter what your rank is, you're automatically going to have 90 PV on Home Direct because everyone is honing in on the fact that you need to hit Success Club. So that's definitely a huge thing that's talked about and that a lot of people don't really talk about when they are in the MLM or when they're recruiting into the MLM. Because when they're recruiting into the MLM, they're like, you don't need to buy products. You don't have to do that. But then when you're in it, it's like, oh, but you now have these PV requirements. But that's not really talked about prior. So let's look this up. Shakeology on its own, if someone were to buy it, would be $129. So I'm going to put $129 in. If we were to go back now and look at exactly how much the Energize and post-workout are, if you were to buy both of those, comes out to $114.95. So I'm going to add $115. And then we're going to go to the beach bars. So the beach bars are protein bars that you could purchase. And then in order to make sure that you are earning the PV requirements, you would probably have to get around 2 boxes. So 2 boxes is $79 and 3 boxes is $119. So we'll just do the smallest one, which is the $79. So that is $324 a month on products. But you can't stop just there, because on top of buying products, each account has to actively buy the business fee. If you don't purchase the business fee, you're you're no longer an MLM rep in the company. So the business fee is $15.95 a month. So if you multiply that by 3 and then you add $24, that is around $371 a month in order for this person to keep their family's accounts going. And then if you were to do that for 12 months, you're spending $4,462 a year just to keep 3 accounts open. And then if you were to compare that against the Beachbody's 2021 income disclosure statement, you would see that the average rep in Beachbody makes $3,169 in a year, not including expenses. So this person was 100% not making her money back if she was doing that every single month. So that's why I wanted to break that down, because it's pretty wild. So now let's move on to the next one. Let me know what y'all think about that one and the fact that that person was spending that much money. I am happy that this person was like, not doing that. Like, there's no way. And then decided to cancel her account. So this story says MLM Story. It doesn't say what MLM it is. It states, "Hey Deanna, I recently found your anti-MLM videos on YouTube and I've been hooked on the horror stories you post, so I decided to share mine. Mine isn't about hair products or fitness. My MLM was a life insurance pyramid scheme. Yep, American Income Life. Apparently, Warren Buffett owns it, or at least that's what I was told. So after I graduated college, I felt the pressure to get a good job and start earning money, especially since I had friends who immediately got high-paying jobs right after college. I started applying on websites such as LinkedIn and Indeed, and I saw a post looking for an insurance representative that claimed to pay $65K a year. I decided to apply and immediately got a call back for an interview at an office location close to home. I went in for the designated time and saw the waiting area filled with 15 to 20 people waiting for an interview. That should have been a sign. I waited until I was called into a room and the lady didn't even look at me. She simply asked me if I had a car and a valid license. That's it. 20 seconds tops. A couple hours later, I get a phone call from someone else saying I got the job and that I needed a PC laptop and an insurance license that I had to pay for them myself because I would be considered self-employed. I don't know why I didn't take that as a sign to shake my head. Poor, naive, desperate young me. This job involved me showing up to people's houses all over the state, even though they promised me it would be local, and give a presentation of child safety and try and get them to buy life insurance at the end of the presentation. No gas money provided. Most people thought it was a child safety kit that would be delivered, not a person showing up saying, "Let me in so I can give an awkward presentation." The commission was 50%, and the only way to rise in the ranks was ... recruiting. Shocking. After about 2 months, our call center got shut down, so we had to make cold calls to people asking if they wanted a child safety presentation in their homes. I lasted roughly 4 months, never knew what a pyramid scheme was until I left. My supervisor would tell me time and time again to recruit people, but I was embarrassed of my job, and he would tell me to not say to clients I was Puerto Rican because it was ghetto, which hurt. Oh my God, what? That's disgusting. One coworker lived in their car and would go weeks with no or very little pay. People yelling at me to leave their house and on the phone. Coworkers telling me they've had guns pointed at them for trying to sell insurance. The most I made in a month was about $600. It was one of the lowest points in my life. I would even cry while I drove to people's houses and apartments. Around a month after I left, I received a letter in the mail saying I owed the company money because some clients terminated their life insurance policies, so I had to pay the company back. I ain't paying crap back. Most of the people I worked with quit though. Sorry, it's so long and for the errors. Love your videos. That is disgusting. Whoever this supervisor was that said that disgusting thing that they said, and also going after people who, like she said, she was naive and young, but not just that, but going after people who are in vulnerable positions. She said someone was living in their car and they were trying to do this, and she was very young, and a lot of young people may not know what pyramid schemes are or things like that, and they think that this opportunity is a real job opportunity that they probably need and want. And I feel like life insurance MLMs or honestly any type of insurance MLM, investing MLMs, they are more likely to pretend to do things like this where they have an actual job interview. Then after the job interview, they say that you got the job, and then they make it seem as if you have an actual job, not that you are working for a multi-level marketing company. And I feel like this happens a lot versus a lot of the MLMs you see on social media where people are selling Monate or Beachbody or Arbonne or Isogenics, those MLMs, they're really coming out saying, yep, we do network marketing. Or they'll lie and say, we do affiliate sales, but it's more noticeable to see those things versus companies like insurance MLMs that are going on places like Indeed and they are presenting as real job opportunities when they're really not. This is a huge reason why I actually spoke for a college this past year. So it was supposed to be an in-person presentation, but because of COVID and things like that, it was not. And so I decided with the college to make a video that they would be able to give out to their students that are graduating and stuff like that to show them what real or not real job opportunities are and kind of to show the warning signs of multi-level marketing companies. I'm going to link that video down below for y'all if y'all want to see it. I did make it into a YouTube video also so that y'all could kind of see what I talked about in the video that I sent to the school. But I feel like it's so important to teach young people or people in college or high school students these warning signs of MLMs because a lot of times places will present as actual jobs when they're just multi-level marketing companies. Okay, so let's go on to the next MLM horror story. I believe this one says the ultimate MLM horror story. Well, if it's the ultimate one, let's read it. So this story starts off saying, "Hello, Deanna. Firstly, I would like to apologize for my English since it is my second language." She says, "Also, I would like to stay anonymous if you choose to read my story. My story is a little on the longer side. I hope that won't be a problem. Anyways, I'm from India. I had joined an MLM during the second year of my college. So for some background about my life, I am currently pursuing computer engineering and hope to become a successful engineer one day." That's exciting. Other than this, I have also been training to become a dancer for the last 2 years. Doing this, I have lost almost 110 pounds. I was 286 pounds and I'm currently 176 pounds. That's amazing. Congrats on that. And I hope to become a successful dancer and engineer one day. So keeping these things in mind, I hope you understand that I do not get much time on a daily basis. So time management already being an issue, guess what my stupid self decides to sign up for? Yes, I signed up for an MLM named Vestige. The story begins with a call that I had received during my semester break at college. One of my seniors calls me telling me about how I would be able to pursue my master's in engineering, which I plan to do, by just meeting him once. In India, most MLM reps are male. So thinking of this as a good opportunity for my career, I go meet him. This guy meets me near my college and we sort of have an interview where he asks me about my future plans and dreams and so on. He then gives me an invitation to a seminar which was to be conducted on Sunday the same week. Since my schedule is so busy, I don't attend this seminar and completely ditch the guy. After a few days after my result, where I had achieved a very good rank in my college, sorry for the flexing, they called me again telling me that this opportunity was for guys like me, and if I were to not meet him the next week, I would lose it. Being a gullible college student, I made a plan to meet him the very next day. So this next meet is the one where this guy actually brings on another person, which is his uplines, and I wasn't informed of that prior. And the interview thing begins. This guy tells me the entire business plan and tells me that in order to make my dreams come true, I have to buy from him a package worth 13,000. I'm not sure the currency. So it's around $175. One of the things that I have always been taught to do is help other people. And during this meeting, I had mentioned that a few times. Using this as a marketing tactic, the guy makes me sign up. So the next thing that I have to do as a business owner is attend the seminar where a self-made millionaire is going to be speaking and telling me secrets to win in this business. I leave my college work and dance work aside and I go for the seminar. I actually thought I might learn something from it, but turns out the same very thing was being repeated to me, which was presented before me when I was first introduced to the business plan. It seemed like a waste of time, and I was made to address the people my age at a higher rank as sir or ma'am, which felt very weird. Else they actually had like certain verbiage you had to use for people that were in higher ranks. That's sounds like a cult to me. After the seminar, I was told that to go forward in the business, I was to bring my close friends and family to the seminar, and it would be better if they were my age or only a few years older. That meant that I would have to waste 2 to 3 hours of my time every Sunday. Other than this, I was also able to give personal presentations to people who could not attend the seminar. This clearly meant that this wasn't a part-time thing as mentioned before in the first ever meeting and also in the seminar. I also have to mention that my family wasn't doing financially great, so the incentive of money actually was enough to crush my dreams and passion at that point of time. My mother had been scammed by her relatives and we were in major debt due to this. Even though things were not her fault, we were receiving calls and death threats every other month. So it was a very, very sensitive situation since my father also wasn't doing great and my sister was in a job she hated, thus taking a toll on her mental health. Thus, with these problems in my life, I thought this was the only solution out, as this may help to pay the debts. I worked in the MLM for 4 months where I had paid to buy crappy products more than I earned selling them. Only one person had joined my team and my desperation was growing day by day. Every time I told my upline about how things were at home, he would tell me the only solution was to show the MLM plan to people. This had reached such a height that I was once presenting the MLM plan to literally a drunk person who wasn't even paying attention, and I felt extremely humiliated. After 3 months, I realized that this is not something I wanted to do as my college and dance were both getting affected in a very negative direction. I couldn't even get a job since in India, you need a degree to get even a low-level job unless you can put all of your focus in one and one job only, which was not possible for me. When I talked to my upline about leaving, he told me I was dumb to do so and really immature. I would get calls repeatedly telling me if I was to step into the world, I wouldn't get hired since I lacked selling skills. Something I find very wrong, as I've actually taken seminars myself at college related to coding, and everyone seemed to like the way I presented myself. Other than this, I was repeatedly reminded of my family's condition in order to pressurize me to not leave the company. Hold up, so so these people knew your family situation and how y'all were struggling, and then decided to use that to continue to keep you in the MLM. That definitely seems like something someone would do in an MLM, and it's disgusting, but so many of these tactics are used where you join an MLM, you tell them like what you're going through, you tell them your why. That's why a lot of people, when you join MLMs, you're asked to talk about your why. And then after you talk about your why, they literally use it against you to manipulate you and guilt trip you into continuing in the MLM. I find this highly unethical, and after a month of arguments, I could finally leave. Not even one person who was my friend at the time have contacted me to ask me how I was doing or anything, as if I was never known to them in the first place. I have been blocked by many of these so-called friends, and I am rather happy about it, to be honest. I have also been blocked by some of my close friends who I am guilty of selling crappy products to, which I feel I truly deserve. Although I have paid back many of them for the products myself by saving money on a monthly basis, which worked better than any MLM scheme. You're a really great friend for doing that, by the way. This MLM experience has been so traumatizing, along with things happening at home, that I have to go to therapy every week just to not fall into a state of pure anxiety, which was continuously present when I was working as a business owner. Lastly, I hope that you get the attention you deserve through your YouTube channel, and I thank you again for making so many people understand the true nature of MLMs. You have forever gained a subscriber, and watching your videos, I've realized that MLM is something that has not only made me a victim, but others too, and it's not our fault completely. Thank you so much. I'm so sad that I accidentally missed this MLM horror story when it was sent to me. I hope that this person is still watching my videos. Thank you so much for sending me this story and being vulnerable and telling me your story. I know that that's not easy to, even if anonymous, to share your story. And a lot of people struggle with sharing their story once they leave an MLM because they go through a lot of periods of guilt. And that's what I hope my videos can do, is at least help people through that. Because I know that I have also felt that way once before, being someone in an MLM who may have sold to friends and family and posted all over the internet about being in their MLM. It feels really good to just be able to dig into the true nature of multi-level marketing companies, expose that, and then show other people that they're not alone in that. So I do want this person to know that, and I'm glad that this person got out of it. And honestly, this person is an amazing friend because while yes, her friends may have blocked her, which happens a lot when you join an MLM and you're feeling like you're in such a tough position, because a lot of people who join MLMs have or are in vulnerable positions in their life. A lot of those people will feel very stuck. So they'll reach out to friends and family and try and recruit them or sell products to them. So this person did sell products to them and is now paying them back. And I think that that is something that not a lot of people would do. And I think that that's an amazing thing that this person is doing. And it shows that they truly care about people. They're very empathetic and they care about their friends and their family so much that they would be saving money over time just to pay these people back for products that they ended up purchasing. So with that being said, I was thinking of doing another MLM horror story. This one is called Boyfriend's Mom Was a Brainwashed Hunbot. So I feel like this one is a perfect story to start off tomorrow's MLM horror story. So with that being said, don't forget to leave a like and a comment and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's part 2 of this week's MLM horror stories. Or restart that. Every time I was told my upline, go back.